What is up, and welcome back to Cryptographics. And we've got a very interesting stream that we're going to be going into today. And this is the first time we've actually had a video, or I've seen a video online, where I've seen someone be cautionary or critical of the Torus protocol. So in this video, as you saw in the thumbnail, as you've seen maybe me posting on X, we're going to be diving in and reacting live to this video that has been posted by a YouTuber. And we're going to get to that very, very soon. But before we get to that, I want to mention something here. First of all, this stream and the thumbnail and the way I've posted about it is to drive a little bit of entertainment. Now, I really like Crypto Audi King. I think he's an awesome guy. I appreciate the fact that he went out and made a video about Torus. He didn't have to. He could have just left it alone, ignored it, but he made a video. And so the reason I'm making this stream is to be able to showcase a little bit of, where I can fill the void and what I can talk about in terms of concerns, criticisms, and really provide education for possibly this guy that we'll get into soon, as well as more just have a little bit of fun, talk more about Torus, showcase what's possible, and potentially prove wrong at some point, or show where Torus can actually, come through where other protocols potentially haven't. So stay tuned for this stream to the end because we have a whole lot to talk about. I'm going to go through the last 10 minutes of his video. We're going to pause each way. We're going to go through. But before we go, I want to give a quick overview of Torus to those who are watching this for the first time, or watching my channel for the first time, or checking out Torus or Cryptographics on X for the first time. And I want to show you Torus Win real quick. If you don't know what Torus is the first of its kind on the blockchain. It allows you to earn Torus tokens or earn yield while you sleep in any market conditions. When the prices are high, you create and you compound your holdings as fast as possible. And when times are a little tougher and the price goes down, all you need to do is simply stake your tokens into the same pool to keep earning, to make it so that way in any market, you're constantly making your tokens grow. And the easiest way, if you understand Bitcoin, the easiest way to think about Torus is imagine if you could take your BTC and you could stake your BTC to compete with miners for block rewards. How valuable would BTC be? This is Torus. And it goes much deeper than this, of course. But as a quick overview, this is the bare minimum that you need to understand to kind of start to get Torus. Now, of course, as a quick overview for those who don't know, currently there's two mechanics. Like I said, there's creating, which currently has a crazy ROI, which we're going to get into because this is one of the criticisms in the video. And there's also staking. Both actions get you into the Torus pool, which is currently paying out $957,000, 658 on day 17 when the day ticks over. There's currently over $650,000 in reserves, and over $220,000 is dedicated to liquidity, and over basically, I believe it's like 400K at this point, over 450K is designated to buying and burning Torus. So this system is primed. It is going to be a lot of fun to be a part of, and people that are in right now are having a blast in the Telegram. If you're not in there, it's t.me/TorusWin. So please join. We would love to have you in the conversation. We do voice chats almost daily, mostly during the week. Weekends are a little bit different, but there's so much to talk about. Everyone's so excited. It's a really fun time to be a part of the Torus community. So hop on in. Make sure you're following Torus Win on X as well as Cryptographics, and make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube if you haven't already. So let me quickly just hop into the chat and welcome everybody in, because I see a bunch of people piling in for this one. I know people are definitely excited to see this. So let's go in. UFO to go. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. Super Dad, as always, welcome. Hi, everyone. A very good Sunday afternoon in South Africa. Thank you for being here. Hope it's beautiful in South Africa. Darko is saying, looking forward to it. Welcome, my man. Good to see you here. Crypto J says, sweet. Loving Torus. Thank you, Sal. You're the man. Appreciate you, bro. DeFi DGen, this is the way. Founder reacts to critics live. I figured why not, right? Because like I was saying, I'm not here to come and dump on anyone. It's more just like, okay, well, let's see what this guy wants to say. And we'll talk through all the points as much as we can. And you know what? There is some fantastic points that he makes, which is why I wanted to make this video, because you'll see, I think there's a lot of merit to what he's saying. And I actually do really appreciate him making the video that he did, because more people, or most people, most influencers, most YouTubers will see an ROI and they'll just tell you about it just so you go in because they get some benefit from it. But, Audi King, as you're going to see, is not doing that. And I actually really respect that. So, Sal, my dog, get it. You too, bro. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome Facing Reality, and let's freaking go. All right, let's get into this, guys. I'm going to share this tab. As you may have already heard, Crypto Audi King made a video, I believe it was 2 days ago now. I think it was on Friday it was released. And we're going to skip the first half of it because it's all TA. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the video, and I'd like you guys to just make sure that when I share this, and I wasn't even sharing Taurus the whole time. Hilarious. I thought I was sharing, but I didn't have it on the stage. I got to get better at this, guys. This is like the third stream in the last while I've done this. So I don't know if I'm rusty and it's just been a while, but I apologize about that. So what I'll do is at the end of the stream, I will come back. And actually, you know what? Let's go to the Taurus DApp real quick, because I just want to show you, if you haven't seen the Taurus DApp before, how damn beautiful this thing is. Look at these ROIs, how beautiful they are. The staking, how simple everything is. And now I want you to see these crazy, the funds and the reserves. Look at this, 107,000 in ETH, 209,000 in Titan X, 153,000 in Titan X, 66,000 in ETH. And then this crazy payout that's right here right now, as well as this is crazy. Check this out, guys. I wasn't going to say this, but the burned Taurus, I know the inflation hasn't started coming out yet, right? The supply hasn't really started coming out, but the burned Taurus has officially gone, is over or surpassed the current liquid supply of Taurus. Insane, right? Additionally, we actually did make an all-time high last night. We got up to about 50.5 million Titan X per Taurus. And we've since had a sale, which was about 2,500. Then we had another $892 sale here. So basically had about $3,000, about $3,500 that was sold. And yeah, we're down a little bit, but hey, that's fine. We're still so far up. Things are incredible. So now let's go and let me just double check that this is all working. Okay, I'm going to play this for you guys, and you guys tell me if you can hear it. Okay, I'm going to play a quick clip here. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Let me just see. Can you guys let me know in the chat? Make sure that you can actually hear that. And if you can, then perfect. We're going to keep going here. And while I'm waiting, I'm actually going to refresh this because can't hear. Okay, interesting. No sound. Interesting. Ooh, this might be a little troublesome here. All right, let me see if I can figure this out here on the fly. I apologize if this isn't going to work because I was really hoping it would. Output. Yep, it's all good. Output input's all good. Let's see here. Maybe I have to switch something on my settings. Let's see here. Audio, camera, reduce mic, automatically adjust. Nope. Recording, virtual background, recording. Nope, it's not happening there. Let's see. Damn. We're going to figure this out though, guys. Let's see. Maybe doesn't work, this whole stream is for nothing. We might not be able to. I'm gonna have to make a freaking video. Or actually, I have an alternative way that we can do this. You'll just have to bear with me because I'm gonna have to improv on the spot here, which is not ideal, but we'll make it happen one way or another. Okay, let me just check. You guys tell me if you can hear this now. Tell me if you can hear this, guys, because it's playing now. So I gotta check again. So funny. If we can't get this to work, that's kind of hilarious. All this, and I'll have to literally run away for 2 seconds to get the speaker that I can, because what I'm going to have to do is I have a little tiny little speaker. I'm going to hook it up to Bluetooth. I'm going to play it through the Bluetooth. I'm going to put it into the mic here. So, okay, you guys give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go get the speaker. I will figure it out and we'll make this happen. Okay, give me 2 seconds. All right. Okay. You guys are gonna, I appreciate you guys waiting for me here. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. All right, let's see here. So out, we're gonna go to now. All right. So let me just crank this up a little bit here. Now let's try this again. This is hilarious. I've never had to do this. I've never had to do this on stream. You guys are going to have to bear with me because I'm going to have to literally flip the mic up and down every single time to point the mic at the speaker. So that's just kind of a funny way to do this. Okay. Let me see if this works here.
Onto that. So Taurus, look, Taurus looks amazing. Yo, the website, 10 out of 10, my boy. Whenever protocols be coming out, I give a heads up to, I give them a fair warning. I'm like, look, I will review your protocol. By the way, this is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid to show this on the video. I'm not getting any sort of payout of nothing. Okay, I have to be honest and transparent about that. Matter of fact,
actually, I'm gonna let this one part play and then I'll pause again.
I think he wanted to do a reaction video, which is perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. I give you permission. All right, go ahead.
See, and this is the point I wanted to make. This was a very mutual thing. Like, I'm not springing this up. I didn't want this to be like a feud. Like, I actually really appreciated him making this video. I appreciate him. You know, we streamed a ways back on Taurus before this thing launched, and we had an awesome time. You know, he's a great dude, and I know he's recently a dad, so that's amazing. Like, congrats to you, my man. So, all that being said, though, as you can see, you know, he's not coming from a place of he wants to attack. He's not coming from a place of where he's been paid to say anything. This is just his honest feedback. So I appreciate it. So that's the precedent that I want to set here.
I told him, I was like, look, I can review it, but I'm going to give you my honest point of view. And I tell that to all the previous protocols. And I'm like, look, I will do it, but I will be straight up. So if you get butthurt or if the community gets butthurt, then I apologize in advance, but that's just how I am. And I will always be like that. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. He's just really curious to know what my thought process about Taurus is. So here it is. I'm not invested into Taurus.
Real quick, guys, if you haven't already, smash the like. Make sure you share this out so that we can get this as far and wide to as many people as possible and get people excited about Taurus, because we're going to get into this, and his commentary is interesting. So I hope you're ready. Let's do it.
Matter of fact, I only traded Taurus. I did a quick little scout, and I'm really glad I did it, actually. Actually, what is the contract address? Yo, the website looks so freaking nice, man. This is so beautiful. Like, I literally give this a 10 out of 10 with the layout, the color, the aspect behind it and all. Beautiful.
So real quick, thank you. I mean, that means a lot. We put so much work into this this DApp, like the amount of detail, the amount of thought, the amount of intentionality that went into it. We worked for like a couple months once we got to the DApp on just like perfecting. We're still fine-tuning things because you guys have a lot of great suggestions. So there's a lot of times where you'll see new things coming up to make it a little bit better. You might see a couple more things coming very soon. That even though this video was 2 days ago and that's it, there's still updates happening to make it even better, even faster, and so on.
Keep that up, man. I really hope more people, more other protocols also do something like that. So Taurus to Titan X. Oh, man. So $8.08 is where it's at right now, right? Really, really good. Beautiful. I like it. This was a trading token for me. I got in at 665. I don't think I hope it wasn't 666. I hope not. It was like six some change. I sold at around $8.40. Literally just a quick scalp. I did not want to fall for, you know, just a massive dump, a massive sell-off, or, I mean, every protocol that comes out has a risk of something happening, right? A quick little hiccup, a bug, accidentally have something wrong with it. It could be anything. I'm not saying they all will, but anything could happen in which it could cause that little risk, right? So I made sure I did sell and take profit. All right.
And I don't have a problem with this. This is a fine skepticism to have. I mean, there's oftentimes, the riskiest time to get into a protocol is when, it first launches, because you don't really know if there's going to be something wrong with it. Now, the thing with Torus is we had 3 audits. We had a test net for months, or at least it was like a month or so. We had so much go into this thing that, I mean, if you're going to be worried about a protocol, this is like one of the last ones to be worried about in that sense, because it's had so much go into it. Not to say this is completely invalid, but I mean, it is interesting to hear that even with 3 audits, even with full test net, I mean, TitanX didn't even have a test net, not a public one. And so I would be curious, just from him, what did he go hard into TitanX initially? And if so, why is this different than TitanX, or why is this riskier, which warranted him to trade? This is also assuming that he went in and mined within TitanX and then is trading Taurus. So I am very curious on that front. I don't know, obviously, but it's just a question I have around that side as well.
So as of right now, at the current time of recording, I own 0 Taurus, no Taurus at all, 0. I traded it, I made my money, sold it, used it, took it over to Ethereum. Ethereum's going up. And then I also took a little bit of portion into Supra, free tokens for me now. Loving it. All right.
So again, another thing we can see here is he kind of has a quick flip mentality, right? This is already an interesting setup for this opinion, because to me, and please, dude, if you're watching this, he's not looking at this as, how is this a long-term play? What's the long-term valuation? He's looking at this so far from what it seems to be a very short-term horizon, where it's, how can I make a quick profit and get out? That could be because his expectations are it's going to be the same as other bot protocols. He's concerned about it. He doesn't want to participate in these kind of protocols anymore. And there's a number of things we could say about this, but clearly, just from the start of this video so far, he is focusing on the quick flip. I mean, let's listen to what he said. He said, I got in around 650 or 660. And then I believe he already said, or he's going to say, I got out around $8, right? So he didn't even sell the top. He got out a little bit higher. So that's like maybe a 40%, 50% flip to get in and out. And so just making you aware of this dynamic, because it's an interesting one when we take into consideration the rest of his opinion here. And this doesn't invalidate it, right? But what this does is it just gives us a framework for why he's saying, or he's going to say, and what he said is the way it is. So let's continue on here.
So it looks good. Website. First thing I want to say, do not fall for the estimated ROI. You will get wrecked. Those that have been,
I'll let it keep going for another moment. We'll address this. Don't worry.
In here for I know it looks great. It looks amazing, right? But not everybody is going to make 16,000% ROI. Okay? No. The earn length at 88, might as well, no. In 8 days, negative 60%, understandable. That's fine, right? In 88 days, no.
All right. So here's the thing about this. I'm going to first address this concern that he has of, like, you will get wrecked. For one, I mean, it is better to have caution in these kind of circumstances where you see an ROI that's like 16,000, 17,000, 20,000% ROI. I mean, that should not, if that's making you want to FOMO everything in just on that ROI alone, that should be concerning. And I would actually agree that you should not go into a protocol just because you see a crazy high ROI. A crazy high ROI can be literally someone just creating a token, making the token last like a day or two, and you have this ROI that you're seeing, you hop in, boom, you get rugged, the protocol fails, there's something that happens, you get scammed, right? So I would agree, you don't want to go into protocols only because the high ROI there, right? That would be ridiculous. That'd be insane. It makes no sense, right? And I don't want anyone to be doing that. Now, where we'll see where he keeps going is he doesn't necessarily address why this ROI is the way it is. Now, trust me, if I could have a more reasonable ROI, if I could have an ROI that actually was true or more true than what we currently have, and that wasn't saying like 16,000%, and looking like a like a classic, like a scam kind of thing, this is the only way to display this ROI. Now, why am I saying that? It's because each day, right, there's a certain amount of Torus tokens that go in, that are released in or from the pool to people that are staked or have created, right? So that those tokens over the first 88 days, right, are distributed, and the first 88 days are releasing about 88 or 8.5 million tokens. At current prices with around $10, that's $85 million worth, right? So this ROI is simply high, especially because if we go and look at the Torus chart here, specifically to Titan X, right? This is the point here. This 10 million to 1. This ratio down here is where when you put in $1 into Torus through creation, or through Titan X or via Titan X or ETH, that means you're creating $1 worth of Torus up front, and then you're earning on top of it. So basically, we're 4.7 times higher in price than this break-even point for creation, right? Where now staking is more profitable than creation, which means that this ROI that you're seeing here on the DApp, which I'm going to come back to, which is actually higher today, which is kind of hilarious. This 16,000% ROI is 4.7 times higher than, or 4.2 times higher, or 4.7 times, I think it's one of the two, 4.7 times higher than realistically it should be if the system was, at that baseline there where it flips over to staking being profitable. And this is the big thing to understand, is like, there's a reason for this ROI. And yes, he's bang on in saying that, not everyone's going to get this ROI. I mean, this ROI is going to fluctuate like crazy. I mean, we try to do everything. We try to put estimated ROI. We put the toggle on here so you can see what you're going to earn daily or like the next day. We try to make it so that way you can really see the power of, or you have all the information, right? But like, at what point do you have to just, let people figure it out? And I'm going to put content out like this constantly, to educate people. But this is one of those things where this is actually like the most realistic ROI that you can actually put on this DApp. And it sounds crazy. And yes, 16,000% ROI there's no way everyone's going to be able to realize that. But when you actually understand this system, you understand that this is really the value currently of what that will be if this continues on in the future. But what he's saying is correct. And it's pretty unlikely that this sustains. Now, what you'll see is he implies some interesting things next, which we'll go into. But I needed to say this because there's a lot to it. And to me, I wished he had done a little bit more digging to understand how this ROI works, because, as soon as you understand the mechanics, it makes sense at least. And you can see, oh, okay, yeah. So it's the price relative to Titan X, also relative to how much participation is in the protocol, relative to the 8.5 million tokens that are coming out over the next 88 days, right? So if he had, or if anyone had done that research prior to having this opinion, you would know that, like, okay, it's high, probably not going to last at this, crazy highs, but it's as real as it can get, because you can't like manipulate the numbers to say like, oh, we think the price is going to go down to this point, so therefore we're going to go to this price in the future, and that's what you're most likely to get. It's like, no, you can't do that because you don't know, right? So anyways, I'm kind of monologuing, but this is the big thing that I want to talk about is, there's a lot that goes into this, right? And if you noticed, he went down to 8 days and it went to negative 60. He was I don't know for sure, but it almost looked as though when he went to 8, he was expecting it to be 10 times less, meaning it was still going to be 1600% ROI, but it was negative 60%. And this shows to me that, I know we streamed a while ago, but he's a dad. He's a busy dude. He's either forgotten or just didn't spend enough time to necessarily remember how the mechanics work. Because if you even go 1 day shorter, the ROI drops significantly. If you go down to 80 days, the ROI drops significantly. And so this is because of the complexity of the system and because of the share system that's in there as well. And this is a huge factor to understand. And just talking about the ROI is actually, you know, I don't want to say the word misleading, but it's just like, it's, how do I say this? It's an opinion that doesn't have all of the relevant facts to actually, you know, warrant or justify itself, right? So I'll leave that there for now. Let me just check in with the comments. Let's see. All right.
Honestly, I think by the 88 day from the first day that it launched and created all that, maybe I want to take a wild guess. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is why it's a guess. I want to say around 10%.
I'm going to pause this there because that's okay. So what that means, like, there's so much to this statement. 10% is like, I'm going to try and steel man this. We're going to talk about what that actually means for Taurus. So let's say everyone gets this ROI, 16,000%. Let's go over to the price chart. Oh boy. Okay. So if we go 16,000 divided by 10, it goes in to basically that'll go into the price chart by 160 times. So basically, if we were to reduce $9.98, let's go back here. So if we're going to go to 9.98, we're going to divide that by 160. He's saying that Taurus is going to go to 6 cents, right? Now, if we come to the price chart here, from current prices, let's just blow this up a little. He is thinking that Taurus is going to go down 99 point. Actually, I need to blow this up more. I can't even go low enough with this. Damn. Hold on one sec, guys. Let me just bump this up here. All right, let's try this again. So he's saying that he thinks Taurus is going to go from where it is now to 99.39% down. If we were to go to the ratio, that would mean that Taurus would go down 99.39%. So we can't even go that low, really. So really, we're talking the ratio that Taurus would go to would be 278,000. So this would be like another. So from this crossover point where the staking mechanism comes in the system, this is suggesting that Taurus is going to come down another like 98% below the point where the Taurus system kicks in and all the staking mechanics kick in, right? That's a pretty aggressive statement, and it is pretty extreme. Now, in order for that to happen, I mean, you have to have the majority of people selling. You'd have to have the buy and build not doing anything, the buy and burn not doing anything. 10% is pretty extreme. And that means that basically no one really wants to come in. There's no more new participation. The prices dropped 99.4%, right? And the buy and burn's not working. The buy and build's not working, right? There's the incentives. No one's coming into stake, even though, you know, the amount of people that are like the people that are in now, if they stake, they're going to get the lion's share of the next 88-day cycle. And that alone, those people alone are going to have more than anyone else is going to come in and create or be able to buy on the market and stake. And so if those people aren't selling, well, then you're going to have a real hard time seeing that price go down. So 10%, just to explain the extremeness of that statement, 10% is like, it's crazy. Like, you know, if he were to say, I could see us coming down and going below this 10 million mark, you know, fair, but going all the way down to like 250K to 1 Taurus ratio, It's pretty extreme. Could it happen? Of course. But I mean, again, there's nothing. And he was just saying it's approximation. That's what he says it's going to go to. It's what he thinks it's going to go to. I wish he had provided a little more detail with that, because it doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense, and it's pretty damn extreme, given the mechanics, how the system works. Again, it's a statement without backing it up with anything, and I just wish he had taken the time to think a little bit more about what he was saying there, to at least back it up. Not that he could be right still, even without without backing it up. He could still end up being right, but without anything to justify it, it's an extreme statement. And as you can see, it's like it's saying that it's expecting this system to basically miserably fail, because if it goes down 99% and stays at 99%, that isn't a failure. So what he's saying by that, well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that implies like a failure of Torus to stay down that low. That's more or less what the implications of that statement are. So let's go to the video again, and let's keep going.
10%, no more than 20%. If I'm wrong, I'm fine. I'm glad I was wrong, because that means you guys make money. Congrats. I'm happy for you. But this is going to dramatically drop, man, in my opinion. Don't fall for this. The staking, 3,500. So what I saw on the contracts on the Etherscan and all that, there's a lot of people that did long-term links. Do you guys see my screen flashing? I don't know if it's just me, or if it's or if it's the website. It's like going black right here.
And as well, on this note, just before we go to the cumulative supply and on all the stuff that he's going to talk about, this flashing here that you're seeing on his screen is actually by design. It was designed initially when the volatility was crazy high, when the liquidity pool first launched, to be able to refresh the time-weighted average price for ETH, so that way people could actually get transactions through. Because when this first went live, we were doing this every 15 minutes, and because the volatility was so off the charts, people couldn't even use the ETH side of things, because the price was out of sync by the time people went to create with it. So this is going to be changed soon here, because of the maturity of Torus over the next coming weeks, months or so. But for now, you may still see that, and this is by design, just so this ETH side actually works initially. And it's actually just a little refresh that happens every, I believe it's 15 or 30 seconds. So you'll see it throughout the video, and he makes a few more comments about it, but here we go.
I don't know if it's actually recording it. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, it is on I see it now on OBS. Whoops. I don't know what that is. It might be a bug. Might have to look into it, buddy. It might be just me. I don't know. So a lot of people stake their tokens the 88 days. There is a certain portion of people that try to play the system and go be one step ahead of everybody else, those that have been here for a while already and know how things actually will go. They did 40, 50, 60 days, 70 days, somewhere. It's like less than 80 days.
All right, hold up. So did you catch that? Those of us who have been here before and know how things will go. To me, when I hear this is someone that is has been burned, and has simultaneously been burned, seen people be burned, know how other protocols have gone, and are simultaneously taking what they have learned from other protocols and associating it with this. Now, there's similarities between previous protocols that have had crazy high ROIs and this one. But that comment right there shows me that, like Darko's saying, there's lots of PTSD, right? But this statement alone tells me everything I need to know. Again, this will happen. The statement of those of us who have been here before and know how this will go. Torus is not like any other protocol before it. It's so important to understand. Like, for example, and those of you who are in the Torus Telegram or have been interacting online on X and on the videos and seen other commentary, you guys have all seen, as much as I have, where if you intuitively think that you understand Torus because you understand Titan X or Hydra or Hyper or any other mining protocol, if you also intuitively that you get Torus because you understand hex staking or any other type of staking, you will always be wrong. And this is not something I'm saying because I'm like trying to be right and I'm be like, oh, you're wrong. No, it's not like it's no, legitimately. Like if you come in and you have a discussion with me about what you think is going to happen and why you think it's going to happen, because you think it's going to be like Titan X, I have 100% conversion rate to anyone that is coming into the chat saying that and then leaves realizing, holy crap, this is nothing like Titan X. It's so different. So again, I appreciate his concern in being that, not wanting to see people get wrecked. Like Darko was saying, a lot of people with PTSD, because a lot of people have had bad experiences with protocols that have shown high ROIs. But this comment specifically really showcases how much this is playing into this entire video and everything going into it. So let's keep watching, but I wanted to address that. And I mean, I can definitely go in deep and dig in on this. Like, for example, Titan X and other mining protocols that have bonuses, the more supply that came out, or the more mining that happened, the more supply came out, right? Meaning day 280, for example, right, in Titan X was the big scary day. There was like almost 3, I think it was nearly 3 trillion Titan X that was going to come out on August 2nd, 2024. And everyone watched that grow and grow and grow. And that day got bigger and bigger and bigger and scarier and scarier and scarier because the T rank bonus and people that were mining after those initial people were all helping build those T rank bonuses for that big scary day. Torus works in the exact opposite way. Torus actually, the more people that come in after day 1, the more decentralized the supply is. And actually what happens is the supply is lowered on those days. Let me show you. Let's go to the absolutely amazing Torus dashboard from Mike Dean. And let me actually refresh this. So check this out. I'm not going to refresh it yet, but look at this. As of 16 hours ago, day 89 was expected to have 2.214 tokens, 2.214 million tokens coming out on day 89. For the record, on day 2, when this dashboard dropped, this entire staked and created unlock amount was around 4.7 million. So this is already reduced by over half, by over 50%. Now watch what happens when I refresh this. What you're going to see here is, watch this number. Now again, 2.2 million in only 17 days, down from 4.7 million. You ready? 2.214. Now we're at 2.191. We're now under 2.2 million tokens. In just 16 hours, we've lowered by about 30,000 tokens. Now, this is what it makes Torus so different. It's a self-distributing, decentralizing system that the more participation that comes into the system, the more decentralized and sustainable it becomes. Simultaneously, the opportunity is there for people that get in early to see the long-term system that's perpetual. The first 88 days give out 8.5 million tokens. The second 88 days, and this is not cyclical, this is just additive in terms of from day 1, right? You can come in and participate on day 44, on day 69, on day 77, on day 15, whatever, right? Or day 104, doesn't matter. But over the first 88 days, there's 8.5 million tokens that come out. And anyone that comes into the pool during these days after day 17 is going to be earning, let's say, on day 105. And the people that are taking and getting tokens that they're earning on day 105 are taking a little bit from everyone's future projected supply. This is really important to understand. So as more participants come in and take from this share of these people's tokens here, they are then able to get and go back in again via either staking or creating to earn from the next 88 days. And this is perpetual. So this system is completely different than Titan X. It is the opposite in a lot of ways. And it builds in a lot of mechanics to sustain itself, to support itself. There's reflexivity. There is constant demand. There is so much burning in this system that happens. And actually, I am going to take a moment to bring up titanx.win/stats because I want to showcase the power of what it's doing for Titan X. And when Torus is helping Titan X, it is basically feeding itself in a way, because Titanx or Taurus is valued in Titanx, right? So if Taurus can increase the scarcity and demand for Titanx, then that's going to feed back positively into Taurus. And as you can see here, if I come down to this tab, you're going to see that Taurus has already burnt 158 billion Titanx. It has taken in almost 2.9 trillion tokens so far and climbing by the day. I mean, it's so different than everything else before it. It just truly is. So to come here and say, if we come back to this video, and where is it here? If we come back to this video saying, for those of us who've been here before and know how this is going to end, I would have caution on, any statements that are finite, right? Finite statements of like, you will get wrecked. We know how this is going to end. And just basically saying like, I know how this will go. I would be very cautious of it, even myself. And I hope that you're this is making sense to the point where you're seeing that I am showcasing that the conclusiveness of these statements is invalid. There is validity in saying this could end up in this scenario. This could end up like this. But to say a concrete statement of this is how this will end when there's no factual statements to do with how the system works to support the arguments, it's just not baseless statements, but it's statements without proving themselves. There's no steel manning of the argument, right? It's just, here's what I think. Not going to explain why. It's just done it. These other protocols have done the same thing, so this is going to do the same thing. Therefore, this is going to be like all the protocols. Not a very strong argument. In fact, it's barely an argument at all. And so this is the important thing to understand about Taurus, right? There's so much that goes into the system. Again, if you intuitively think you get Taurus because you know Titanx or Hex or BTC or any of these other protocols, you don't. You're fooling yourself. So hop in the Telegram group and let me educate you so you can understand how damn powerful this system is going to be and currently already is. So let's get back to the video though, because we have a little bit more to go.
Scattered around. It's like it starts around that 40-day mark, if I'm not mistaken. I checked it a while ago, a few days ago. But I think this is my prediction. Yes, Taurus looks amazing right now. Congrats on the launch. Congrats on everybody if they're making money. Congrats for those that bought around here, anywhere around here, and they're up in their investment. I'm happy for you. I genuinely am happy that you are up and that you're invested and you look good. You look at your portfolio and you're like, man, this is awesome. Great. I hope you managed to cash out every single dime. But the supply of Taurus right now, 2 weeks in, is very low, very minimal compared, right?
This is a true point. The supply of Taurus is less than 20,000. And as you can see, as you saw in the Dune dashboard, the future supply is going to climb to like over 10 million very quickly, right? As we get into the days 100 and beyond. So then this will obviously lower because of the dynamics where people coming in after are taking the supply from these days and they're deferring it out into the future. So it's not as straightforward as just saying like 10 million tokens are coming out in 88 days. It's not the case, right? In 89 days, we're going to see 5 million tokens come out, right? Not less actually, because every day and every time someone comes in and creates their stakes, they're actually taking from this cumulative supply on day 89 and they are pushing it out into the future on day 105, 106, or whenever their stake or creation is going to be done. So let's go back to the video though.
Eventually, my prediction is around the 30 to 40 day mark is where the token will probably start to sell off.
Let's talk about this. Okay, let's go to the Dune dashboard because he does actually make an interesting point here. Now, if we look at the Dune dashboard and we see where supply actually begins to come out, what we're going to see is when we look at the cumulative supply, so the supply coming out cumulatively over time, when we go to the day 30 mark, let's go to day 30, we now have a cumulative supply that's come out of over 5,000. And as we get to day 40, right, you can see it ticking up quickly. We have 14,000. This isn't insane, but this is when the cumulative supply starts adding up fairly quickly. And as we go beyond day 40 all the way to day 50 and beyond, you can see the supply is quickly ticking up, right? Now, when we get to day 58, we're going to have about 100,000 tokens that have come out by that time. And this is an interesting point, because what he's saying is, as the supply comes out, I'm expecting price to lower. And I think there's validity to that. I would be honestly shocked if people don't sell to some degree. I just don't know what degree it's going to be sold to, because there are so many mechanics and incentives in this system to reel people in, to bring people back into the system and offer them an ROI in exchange for not selling by just staking in the system when they've created their tokens or they bought their tokens on the market. So let's keep going in the video though.
I hope not. Once again, I hope I'm wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong, because if I am wrong, that means you're making money. And I hope you are making money. I want to look back 2-3 weeks from now, maybe about a month from now, and look into this video and see if I was right or wrong and see how it played out. I'm very curious.
So real quick on this note too, I mean, I don't care what anyone does, you know, to each their own, but I would also say it's always interesting to propose, I think this is going to happen, be cautious, and to, you know, I'd be happy to be wrong, but this is what I think, without providing any, you know, actual evidence, understanding of the protocol. Because, you know, what you run the risk of doing is, if this protocol is far more successful than you're expecting, and people actually come in here and don't have all the information, and they're making a decision based on skepticism, concern, and caution that's based on other protocols and not actually anything to do with how this works, and you lead them away, I mean, that's just as bad as, potentially even worse to some degree, right? Because imagine someone gets into this, and this isn't saying for a second that this is exactly what's going to happen, but I want to paint the picture of, imagine that Torus is as a unicorn, right? I've designed it to be. We'll see what happens, right? But imagine Torus is a unicorn and it delivers unbelievable ROIs. Now, for all the people that have listened to this and were skeptical without actually understanding why that skepticism may or may not be valid, then you've led them away from the potential gem that they've been looking for in this cycle. So I would just say, for anyone that's putting their opinions out there, and if you really actually want to help your followers, take the time to do the digging. Take the time to understand the protocol. Show why your opinion is what it is and why it's valid, and your concerns and how they're valid. But if you're taking information, or you're just taking an opinion and throwing it out there and superimposing your previous experiences on this, you just got to be careful, right? And this is a word of caution to you guys, because I don't want you to go into Torus because you think I'm cool or you like me. I don't want you to go into Torus because you like the symbolism. I don't want you to go into Torus because you like the ROI. I don't want you to go into Torus for any reason other than you understand it, you see the potential, you can see how powerful the system is designed, and you believe in the long-term valuation, that, and not just baseless claims of going to do good, going to do bad, right? I don't want anyone to be in this protocol that doesn't at least have some kind of fundamental understanding, not for the ROI, or not for the ROI because I want to get in, or not because the ROI is so high I'm going to stay out, right? There's so much more to this than just these more simple arguments. And just words of caution to those listening, and to anyone making videos too on this. Just like, please educate your viewers so that they understand why you're saying what you're saying, and not just to go off of, you know, the facts or just your opinion, because that's just as dangerous as telling people to go in because trust me, bro. So let's carry on.
But yeah, a lot of tokens are not coming out that much, very low supply. So people are buying it up, staking it up, and everything long term. So it's creating that really good buy pressure on everything, that motive, and then you know, it causing the price to go higher and higher. People are going to FOMO in. You know, newbies are going to come over here and expecting 16,000% ROI. They're going to dump their Timex. They're going to, you know, invest. They're going to sell other tokens out there to be able to invest into here, bringing up the price. So yeah, you get the drift.
Again, right? Can you see the pattern here where it's like this? People are going to FOMO in for the 16,000% ROI. They're going to get wrecked. They're going to sell other things. And it's just transposing previous experience onto Torus, which, hey, I understand, as Darko was saying, you know, there's PTSD involved. And I mean, I don't know many people that are, you know, super excited about mining protocols anymore because of previous experience. So, you know, this is fair. And simultaneously, it's not taking the time to educate, because this is an opportunity here, right? He has an audience. If you're going to make a video and you're obviously not Crypto King, if you have an audience, you have the opportunity to showcase these newbie investors, these people that might see the ROI and be like, oh my God, or like, oh God, right? One of the two, on why the ROI exists in the way it is, why you should or should not be concerned, what the likely events are going to be as supply comes out, and what the opportunities may be afterwards or before or during these times of correction because of the supply coming out. And I just really wish he had taken the time to bring more information out in the open and not just suggest that newbies will get wrecked because ROI is high and it's going to be like all the others. So anyways, as you can see, there's a bit of a pattern here in this video so far.
But once people start getting claims in and Torus tokens in and everything, that's where we may see a drop. I understand Torus is different. I understand, it's staking's, one thing, and the burning aspect. I get all of that. I do get it. I know, because there's still going to be people on the comment section, oh, but you need to put into consideration if ETH goes up. Bro, ETH is up, but TinyX is dropping. ETH is at $3,800, my guy. And TinyX is dropping all the way down to the support level that I just shown. I don't know. This video has been already almost 20 minutes long, and I was thinking that I had already uploaded that video. Wow. I don't know.
So as you can tell, again, there's a lot of presupposition, like, I get it. Like, what about this? What about that? I already know. I know it's not going to, it's same. It's same. And there is so much to this system. Yes, the buy and burn is great. Having ETH in the system is great. Having the staking is great. And as you can tell by his commentary too, he didn't talk about the buy and build. He didn't actually talk about the incentive and the reflexivity and how staking actually has the potential to affect demand, and how, if we're even looking at this price chart here, right? Like, the question is, and this is what he didn't actually speak of, which, it is what it is. But the question I would ask is, why is this chart doing what it's doing, right? Every other TitanX protocol that's launched in the last while, and most protocols that have launched over the last while, have had like an up by the snipers and a down, and then a stabilization here, right? And this is typically a natural chart before it starts to go up. It's just like the supply gets out, the distribution happens, people get in and out, they figure out their positions, and then it goes up. That's classic, but this is different. So the question is why? And if you were to actually track the majority of these buys and where they're going, these are people that are going on the market to stake. And so what this is showing is a proof of concept that there is external demand for staking, given the fact that the ROI for staking is currently like 3,000 some odd percent, 3,396.4%, right? And so even if the price drops, right, this is now an opportunity for people to get into the protocol. And this ROI only changes. It's similar to like a Hex APY or token APY, where if more participants come in, this is going to lower. But because if you put in or stake 987 tokens and you get out 987 tokens, it's not really taking into consideration nearly as much of ETH or TitanX. And so this is likely to be 100% ROI. So it takes a lot more dilution for the staking ROI to come down, meaning the staking ROI in terms of its metrics are much more stable. And so there is going to be a large ROI in staking for quite a while. And the creation ROI is the one that's going to be volatile. That's where you're seeing the creation ROI go to 16,000%. You can also see the creation ROI go down to 92%, negative 92%, and the staking ROI be at 100%, because the creation ROI is based on the input value in a different token. Right. So if TitanX is currently, or if Torus is 4.7 times higher in price than the break-even point for what you're putting into the system in TitanX or ETH, that's going to jack up this ROI. Simultaneously, if Torus drops significantly in price, let's say you're putting in $2,000 and you'd be getting only $500 out of Torus as your created Torus before you earn, well, your ROI is going to be like negative 87% or something like that, or 75%. Right. Meanwhile, the staking ROI could still be 3,000%, 1,000%, because it's in token terms, right? It's point of relativity is with the Torus you've put into the system, not the value of the Titan X or the Torus per se. So this is a huge thing that was kind of glossed over in this system. And again, I just wish that more was explained, because it is not like Titan X. It is not like Hex. It is nothing like these other protocols, though it has points of similarity. So let's go back to this and let's keep watching here.
So think about that, man. So 100,000, awesome. Buy Taurus with Titan X, 200,000, awesome. Like, the reason why Titan X, in my opinion, did so good last run up that it just did was because of Taurus. You did an amazing job with Taurus, yo. Very proud of you. Very nice layout, color, the tokenomics, everything. You know, the stats, $872,000 on the Taurus pool payouts. What protocols have launched that have done that? Like, very few. Okay. But that's my prediction.
So first of all, I mean, as you can see, it's not all bad. I really appreciate his commentary. You know, I appreciate him seeing the hard work that went into all this. And it is nice to hear that. We put a lot of effort into this thing. I mean, the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that went into this thing is just off the charts. So I really appreciate you saying that. That does actually mean a lot. So like I said, guys, this is not a video to make a feud. This is actually an appreciative video of the fact that he made a video on Taurus, and he had his cautionary tales, his criticisms, which we went through. And also he had a lot of great things to say, you know, and I don't know. I also think this is an opportunity as well. And this is the reason why I wanted to make this video, is because in this here is skepticism, concern, caution, right? Doubt. There's someone here, this guy, Crypto Audi King, who does not think that Taurus will be different. He does not think that it will perform differently. It will perform like the rest. And hey, fair enough. And this to me is a perfect opportunity to prove exactly the system that was designed. And I've said this many times, and I will continue to say this, right? Taurus does not prove itself on the way up. It does not prove itself with the high ROIs. It proves itself on the way down, because the most powerful mechanic in the system is not creation. It's not the buy and burn. It's not the buy and build. It's staking. If you understand staking, you are going to see the vision of Taurus. Taurus brings in more and more and more and more and more Titan X over time at such a rapid rate, just to be able to stake in the system, that it's hard to fathom. For example, when we get to day 1,000, right? There's about 60 million tokens that'll be out on the market at that point. If we assume 50% of those tokens were to come back into the system to stake, do you know how many Titan X it would take to even be able to just stake that with a 5% fee? I bet you don't. Let me educate you. When it comes to that 60 million mark, so 30 million tokens are staked. Only 50% of the tokens are staked at that point. Over 38 trillion Titan X would be required in order to stake for 88 days. 38 trillion just for staking. This means that immediately upon those tokens staking, over 1.6 trillion Titan X is burnt, just like that. Immediately. And that's 188-day cycle. Now, this is a whole deep dive conversation of why this is happening, but this is what I'm talking about. If you don't understand these mechanics, and then you're having these cautionary concerns, criticisms, definitely take the time to understand, because this is not a short-term protocol. And what might happen short-term is not the entirety of the protocol's life. And the protocol only gets stronger and more powerful as time goes on in its ability to bring in funds, and its ability to burn Titan X, and its ability to create demand into Titan X. And this is a recipe, in my opinion, for a crazy, crazy amount of success, you know, if this thing can even catch a little bit of a tailwind, right? I don't think it's going to take much. It's all in the design, and things can definitely happen different than design. It happens all the time. But in order to actually value this thing in the short term, medium, and long term, you need to understand these deeper mechanics in the system. And this is not to say that cautionary tales not valid. But cautionary tales without actually understanding the system, I think, are just as dangerous as, go in, go hard, ape in, sell the house, mortgage your house, without understanding what you're getting into as well. And that's it. It's about having a balanced point of view, understanding why what you're saying is what you're saying, and not saying anything else, right? So let's continue because we're almost at the end of the video here.
Prediction, like, yes, right now it looks good. Definitely looks amazing. I'm gonna have to cut this video short, actually. I probably didn't cover everything 100%, but this, long story short, around the 30-day, 40-day, really, is where we will probably see a change in Taurus. Whether it's going to be a flat zone, whether it's going to be a sell-off, a slow sell-off, or just a complete drop. So yeah, please don't fall for that 16% ROI. That's the one thing that a lot of newbies do. This will eventually be a healthy ROI, 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%. It really depends on where Tinex is, where Taurus is at, a bunch of factors, right? But 16,000%, nah, definitely not. So thank you guys so much for watching. Click the like.
So that's the video. As you can see, he's very focused on the percentage, and he really doesn't want people to get wrecked. And I appreciate that. I don't want anyone to get wrecked either. And I also don't want people to get wrecked because of lack of information as well. And there's so much going on here that, you really need to understand the system. You can't just come in blind and say like, oh, I get it. And I do, and I see this, and it's going to happen like this, and it's going to happen like that, when you haven't presented any of the facts of how the system works or any understanding of how things operate. And he was actually, I think he's bang on. I think around day 30 to 40, when the supply starts to come out a little bit more and we get over about 10,000 tokens, you are going to see a change in Taurus to some degree. I don't know what that's going to look like though. Like he said, could flatline. It could actually go up. It could go down. I don't know. With all the incentives, all the dynamics, and all the mechanics in the system, I'm just as excited to see that period as well. Because like I've said, the system proves itself on the way down, not the way up. Right? Taurus is designed to have like a catching glove, or like a glove to catch, with all the incentivization, with the mechanics, with the staking difficulty and the staking fee. Right? So that's the video. And again, Crypto King, thank you for making the video. Like I said in the comment, if you guys are seeing my comment down here, you'll see I left a comment. I said, great video. I appreciate your thoughts. And I also totally understand everything you're saying and appreciate your words of caution for newer people, as previous protocols have done what you've said. And that's the truth, right? We need people like you bringing the craziness back to earth. And I said, to me, I see this as a perfect opportunity for Taurus to prove itself as something different as the supply starts to come out. I've always said this. Taurus doesn't prove itself on the way up, but on the way down. That's where the system is built to be most powerful, and we'll soon know if that design intent is working. I don't even know if I can make a hater reaction video to this because it was so reasonable, but I might still, just for fun, of course. Cheers, man, and thanks for your honest feedback. Let's revisit this around day 40 and see where things are. And again, this isn't supposed to be a video where it's not a hater video. In fact, I applaud him for sticking his neck out there and actually making a video publicly and putting his opinions out there. It's really easy to be behind a keyboard and say something. And, like even watching the build up to this video has kind of made me not want to make videos like this a little bit, because when I make a video like this and I make thumbnails and I make posts, I'm doing it to get engagement as well, right? And if you know me by now, you know that I don't like to start wars. I want to build connections, not burn bridges, wherever possible. And I come at things from a different angle than just like, you're wrong. He has a lot of valid points. And like I said, in the actual, in the comment itself, we need more people that have this willingness to come out and say, whoa, 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 let's just pause here. And I also would like to see more of, whoa, 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 we should be cautious here. Here's why, right? Not just be cautious, because to me, it's very similar to saying, go all in. Right. Though, there's something to be said for having caution first and then doing more research. But again, I've already beat that horse to a pulp, so I won't go there. But I really appreciate Crypto King. Again, we streamed a while ago. He's a great dude. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out, because I have a feeling that if this system proves itself, he could potentially be very adamant on believing in Taurus, loving the system, and that can all change very quickly. But the point of this video is, yeah, not to make a feud. And so I ask you guys in the comments, if you see me making a video like this, if you see me going to react to someone, remember that I am not looking to create drama. I am not looking to create anything other than an opportunity to educate. And I would love to see guys in the comments, spread positivity. I don't want to see comments, obviously you guys are going to do whatever you're going to do, but this is my message to you is please in the comments, if you see me posting a video like this or saying, I'm going to react to this, understand that this is me trying to get engagement out. So my wording is very specific to draw in as many eyeballs as possible and then educate. I would really love to see guys not being negative or calling people names or, any sort of attack. This is an opportunity to educate. This is the point of this video in and of itself. It's not to attack, it's to educate. So if you guys can understand that and hop on that train with me, and then whenever you see videos like this, you show support in that way, that would be perfect. So before we end the stream, because I got to wrap it up here, I really want to connect with you guys before we go. And yeah, let me, oh, you're awesome, dude. Good to see you here, Fast Abdul. Yeah, let me just hang out with you guys for a moment before we wrap up. And yeah, again, Crypto Audi King, thank you for making the video, man. And if you ever want to come on stream and just chat about this, dude, I would love to, now that this thing is out in the open and we can actually talk things through. I would love that. I think you're a great dude. And I would really love to keep this going and have this dialogue going back and forth, whether it's you making a video and then me reacting to it or us being on stream together. That would be cool. So let me end this screen share here and let's come back together and look at the comments here. So let me see. What did I miss here? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. DeFi Degen, addressing FUD with facts equals the best PR. I'm trying my best, and I think this is just a great opportunity. It's like, look, we have 350 viewers. I don't normally get that many viewers on a Sunday morning or Saturday morning. So, hey, this is cool, right? I think this is a great way to come together, educate, have a little fun, and yeah, just have a stream together. So let's keep going here. Let's see here. We'll definitely, I think I missed your comment previously there, my man, but I'm just going to start here. We'll definitely have some short-term players. And right now the LP is way too small to keep up with lots of selling. Don't get me wrong. I really like Torus. No, it's true. And that is a reason why the price could tank. Now the price could tank, but the question is for how long? Because when you have demand for staking, right, you have the buy and burn and you have the buy and build. It's a lot of firepower potentially. So again, not saying that it can't go there, but the question I would have is how long would it stay there, right? So Kirill, hey, my man, good to see you here. Thanks again for always showing up. Good evening, Taurus lovers. Good evening to you, my friend. Let's see. Madness Tight needs Jake Sharp to, no, we're not going to go there. We're not going to address that. The money, it may rain real hard tomorrow and flood because it rained on me a year ago and I got wet. Glad I'm not his wife worth this video. Okay, yeah, no. So I got to read these comments before I'm going to bring them up here, guys. Remember, I don't want negativity coming up here. This is supposed to be an educational stream to build bridges, not burn them, right? Yeah, you've had a wrench since the early days in Pulse Chain, my man. You've always had the wrench. Careful, guys. He's not kidding. R2R, good to see you here, man. And thank you for making your videos. They've been fantastic. I appreciate you covering them. And I love the fact that you're excited about Torus as well. So the more that we can have that are excited about Torus, the merrier. So although different with way more features, I look at Torus in terms of earning like REKT shares, a lobby, then ability to stake, creation, stake. This is valid. Like I said, there is so many similarities. There are so many similarities to Hex and to TitanX. And simultaneously, if you assume that you intuitively get this system because you know Hex or you know TitanX or BTC, you are wrong. So this is great. Yeah, it's like you can look at it in a way. It's a way of understanding things. And I totally get that based on people's backgrounds. So yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. Has a pattern of fallacious arguments, hasty generalization, false dilemmas, and false analogies. Maybe. Well, this one posed a bunch of interesting arguments that just didn't come backed up with anything. So I can understand why you're saying that. But again, I'm not going to bring up any more comments that are negative. Yeah, exactly. He's been once bitten, twice shy. I don't blame anyone. You know, this is one of those things where it's understandable. And why I'm making the video is to educate, right? That's all I want to do with this. If someone does have PTSD, if someone was bitten by this is a perfect opportunity for education to show that this might just be different. DeFi DGen says, continue to share your thoughts in the comments, but kindly ensure they remain refined and respectful. Exactly. That's what we're here for. We're here to build bridges, right? Educate people, build a community, not isolate people and push people away. That's not, I don't want to do that. That's not how I want to operate. I want to, every time someone, like I've said this before, FUD is a question. Think about that for a second. When you have fear, uncertainty, or doubt, that can only live in why you don't know something, right? If you have anxiety and fear about the future because you don't know what it holds and you're afraid of something happening, there's uncertainty there, there's doubt. So FUD is a question. And streams like this, where we can come out and we can talk about exactly the information that's there, we can nullify that completely or to the largest degree possible. And so this is the point, is FUD is an opportunity to answer a question, not a point that someone's utilizing to attack. I mean, people can use FUD to attack all the time. And there's a difference, right? An open mind leads to an open conversation. A closed mind leads to closed conversation. I don't have time. I'm not willing to argue or go back and forth with someone that already has made up their mind on exactly how this thing is going to go and refuses to learn, right? Closed mind equals closed conversation. Open mind, conversation's open. And that's the rule that I'm going to operate on this. And I would say that if you guys are looking for kind of something to base how to engage with someone on, if someone's mind is closed, just don't, conversation closed. Cool, no problem. But if someone's actually interested in learning, even if there's like a little bit of edge or aggression, or they're like, there's a little bite to it, just see it as an opportunity, right? See through what they're projecting on the day, whether it's just frustration because they had a bad day, they've been struggling, family issues, like whatever it is, skepticism. That's always an opportunity to cut through that to the heart, which is, hey, I'm actually interested in this thing, which is why I'm even talking about it, but I'm concerned, right? That's an opportunity to see that, hey, you could have posted on anything else, but you chose to look at Taurus and take the time to even post about this. So I'm going to take the time to respond to you in a way that I think is going to be most powerful for you to learn and to potentially overcome all that concern, that fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? So please, guys, remember that when we're interacting with anyone in the comments, in the telegrams. This is the age of Taurus. This is what I want to bring out in the age of Taurus. It's a different paradigm. This isn't a competitive environment to me. This is completely different. We're not competing with Hex. We're not competing with Bitcoin. We're not competing with Titan X. We're playing a different game. We're not trying to get the most gains. To me, the age of Taurus is an age where it's a mindset shift. It's a lifestyle shift. It's a shift of health, wealth, and abundance in a different way. We're trying to create with this a movement to allow people to change and impact those around them and use Taurus as a tool, hopefully, for that. But even if it doesn't end up being Taurus, the movement is around internal shift, right? Internal shift to helping others, lifting yourself, lifting those around you, and much, much more, right? So this is Taurus, and all of what I'm saying here encompasses this. This is the age of Taurus. It's not just the protocol. It's not just, this thing doing 1,000x or mad gains. That's a great part of it, but it's much, much, much more than that. Soon. Time for space is very soon. Let's see. Yeah. Thank you, man. Respect. Hey, appreciate that. Yeah. Shares basically are what earn you Taurus, right? It's like if there's 10 people in the pool and you all have 10 shares, you each have 10% of the pool. And if there's 100 Taurus being released in a day and you all have 10%, you're going to earn 10 Taurus in that day because you have 10% of the shares in that pool. It's really as simple as that. Let's see here. Here for the beard. It's getting long, man. You know what? And the more it stays like this, the more I like it. The more I really do. So I don't think I'm going to trim this anytime soon here. Essentially, things are the same until they are not. If we all thought Google was going to be going the way Netscape would be very wrong. An open mind is the key, but appreciate the different perspectives. Exactly. So Ken Dog says, really great stream. Respect, sir. Go Taurus. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys for being here. I do have to run. And also, I want to share with you guys two quick things before we go. One, I guess three. One, go to the Telegram. Go to t.me/TaurusWin. Go hop in there. We have voice chats almost daily. There's great conversation. Everyone's excited. There's lots of education going on. We have a fantastic group. And 2, I'm going to play a little video right now that is for Trade Brawl, where Trade Brawl and Torus have collaborated for a 4-week, 4-round brutal game where you could potentially win a massive amount, potentially 30% of this entire prize pool in Torus terms. Check it out.
Trade Brawl presents Taurus Titans, the only game where Taurus creations become the prize pool. Crypto's best fantasy league trading game, now built for Titan X. Are you ready to step into the arena? Join now at titanshub.com.
So there you have it, guys. Go to tradebrawl.com. You can even go to Titan X Hub if you prefer. Let me just share this real quick. This is the easiest way to go about checking it all out. Let's see here. We're going to go to Titan X Hub. Share that. Go to titanxhub.com. Shout out to Mike Dean. Also, shout out to DeFi DGen. I mean, we have so many. I need to do a stream, appreciative stream of all the people that have been building in Titan X. But right now, I'm going to focus on Mike Dean's Titan X Hub. Go here to the top where it says Trade Brawl. You're going to click on this. It is going to bring you to the instructions. It's going to show you the registration. It's going to show you the current prize pool. And it is also going to give you everything you need to be able to participate. And there's only, I believe, a week left. So 7 days, 42 minutes left, and 98% of the spots are remaining. There's a max of 200 participants before it shuts down. So if you want to go play a fun trading game that is like, you're not trading real funds, but it's like a fantasy league trading game. It's only 0.0275 ETH, and you could potentially see a huge amount of Taurus as the final prize pool. Go check it out. This is awesome. It's Ali Kane's creation. He's been working his ass off on Trade Brawl, and the last winner, I believe, was Rich Landon, and he won a pretty good chunk of money. So he's the defending champ. Who's going to dethrone Rich Landon? We'll see. Go to titanxhub.com and check out the Trade Brawl Taurus edition, the Taurus Titans Trade Brawl game. And finally here, let's go and, what was the last thing I was going to talk about here? I have forgotten it. Oh no, I've forgotten. It was Trade Brawl and, how could I forget? Right now, if we go onto X, let me go here. You're going to see build on Titan X X28. This is a plan A space. Go to plan A space. I'm actually going to put this into the chat here. And I would like to see everyone that is in this on YouTube as well as over on X hop into the plan A space, and let's make this an incredible space. I am going to be on the road, but I am going to be in there for the entire time. And we have 369 viewers on our total count here. So let me just post this real quick. Guys, hop in the spaces. It's going to be great. They're always fantastic. Get builder updates. If you have questions, you have commentary from the community, please head on over there. You can hop up on the mic, and I will see you guys there very, very shortly. Okay. So that's going to do it for this stream. Thank you to Crypto Audi King for making that video. Thank you to all of you who showed up, hung out with me today in the comments, who left kind remarks. And guys, welcome, and girls, welcome to the age of Taurus. Have a wonderful Sunday, or, Monday if you're waking up and seeing this and you're down under or over on the eastern parts of the world. And I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Peace.